Morning, guys. One of the greatest things I've learned in my life, and I want to share this with you in case you are going through a very difficult time right now. Our difficulties, our struggles, our pains, our challenges, all that darkness, that is where we find out what we're made of, why we were born. See, we were born in darkness. We were born in the womb. We came out of nowhere, and we are miracles, but we have to remember that. And the reason why we are miracles and we are meant to live with purpose is because we have that energy, that determination that will not stop. If we make that decision to take whatever is happening to us and change the way we think and what we do about it. So whatever you're going through right now, if you're going through a really tough time, a dark time, a challenging time, I want you to remember your determination, it's meant to come out of your darkness. Have a great day, everyone.
Rise and shine!
It's espresso time.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and successful people don't wake up and go, wow, it's another day, I'm so happy. The difference is they have a morning routine that sets them up for success, like watching one of these videos. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and get ready for a shot of espresso from Warren Buffett.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
There's a company here in Washington called Geico, you know, and I first got exposed to that in 1950. I was 20 years, I was 19 years, well, it was 51, I'm sorry. I was 20 years old. And I came down here and I came down on a Saturday because I'd learned that my professor who I worshiped at Columbia named Ben Graham was the chairman. I got down here and the door was locked. When I went to the building, because it was Saturday, and I pounded on the door and some janitor let me in, and a marvelous fellow named Lorimer Davidson spent 4 hours with me teaching me all about insurance. And he helped me so much in life. You're going to get help by some wonderful people in life. It's a great thing to remember later on when you get to be my age, that, you know, all the help you've received from different people, because nobody does it alone. Obama got in trouble when he said that in the campaign, that, you know, nobody does it by themselves. Nobody does do it by themselves. We all sit in the shade of trees that were planted by others. So it's obligatory, I think, to plant a few trees ourselves if we've had good luck. It's been a great ride, but it's not over.
Asking for help is hard. We are afraid of rejection. We're afraid people will say no. And we're afraid of judgment as to not having it all figured out and not being the perfect people that we pretend to be on Instagram and social media. But asking for help could be the single biggest unlock in your life right now, because you don't have all the answers and because you're struggling to figure out what your next move should be, and other people have figured it out. Other people have the answer that you're struggling with right now. And you either don't know the person to ask, or you do, but you're too afraid. But unlocking that question mark in your head will come by asking for help. I struggle with it. I'm terrified of disappointing people. It's my number one fear. And I think it's partly the ego of like, hey, I don't need help. I'm doing this thing. I'm figuring it out by myself. Let's go. I can solve any problem. And I think that's what we need to train ourselves to do in part as an entrepreneur, to just default to, I will figure this out. I can come up with a solution. But we take that to the extreme of, I need to figure everything out always by myself. And so that's what makes a successful solo entrepreneur, but it doesn't make a successful business builder. You know, that's how you stay stuck as a solo person. It can provide a full-time income, it can get you out of your job, it's great, but it doesn't let you have a giant impact because you're stuck doing everything yourself. Giving up the control, giving up the willingness to be judged. Yeah, it's painful. They may say no, or they may judge you. And that might be devastating. But until you're actually going off and asking people, you're never going to get the answer you need to actually go build a business that you want. I just came back from speaking at an event that was called Transform You. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the host, the entrepreneur who put it on, his name is Steven Scoggins. And I really admire this guy because he, as soon as the event was done, emailed me and he said, Evan, thank you so much for being a part of my event. It was amazing. And he shared some of the stats of lives saved and divorce saved and all that stuff. But then he asked, well, how do I get there faster? You know, how do I become a more well-known speaker, entrepreneur, you know, the thought leadership game? How do I get there faster? And looking at Steven, he's built a super successful construction company, and now is transitioning towards thought leadership, and has spent, you know, maybe 6 months, a year, really going hard at it. And he humbled himself to ask for help. And so the past 3 days, we've been going back and forth with different ideas of rebranding, of programs, initiatives, and involving people on my team, his team, just trying to help him figure out what the next 12 months should look like for him. And I'm happy to do it. Yesterday, we did an Instagram live together. I had something else scheduled, and that person canceled last minute. And so with 30 minutes before showtime, I could have just gone live by myself, which I've done tons of times, but I was thinking about Steven on my mind. So I messaged him and said, hey, Steven, are you free in 30 minutes to go live with me on Instagram to brainstorm in front of all the people who are going to watch to brainstorm your challenge right now? You know, let's spend some time together doing this, and hopefully in you sharing what you're up to and your mindset and your vulnerability, other people can learn and be inspired as well. And he said yes. And this was, you know, 2 days after his event. His throat's burned. He can barely talk. This is supposed to be his week off. You know, he didn't have anything else booked, so he's on his home. It's supposed to be his downtime. And I wouldn't have been offended if he said no, but he said yes. And then normally I spend 25 minutes with people on Instagram Live. We went for an hour brainstorming the next version of where he could take his business. Most people would have been way too afraid to do that. Most people who are in a position like Steven is, who's had a lot of success in a different field, to then humble themselves to ask for help and to do it publicly, I really admire that. I hope that I have the courage to do that too. It's inspiring. I struggle asking for help. I worry for the same two reasons. I worry that people will judge me for not having the answers, and I worry that they'll say no. Especially in the things that are around the area that I'm supposed to be good at. I just launched my Discord server, and it's amazing. We're having such great conversations. If you want to join for free, it's evancarmichael.biz. Come say hi. And I know nothing about Discord, and I don't pretend to know anything about Discord. So I'm asking all the noob questions and getting a lot of help. And it's amazing to learn and be a part of it. So if there's something brand new or something totally outside your zone, then it's easier to ask for help. But when it's kind of close to what you're doing, this is where I think most of us struggle. If it's close to what you're doing, if you have your business set up, you've been doing it. You've been doing it for a year. You've been doing it for 2 years. You've been doing it for 6 months. You've been doing it. And you've been trying to put out this message of what you're doing, right? That you can help solve people's problems, whether it's a product, service, book, speech, whatever. And then to not have it work. That was my first business. It was a good product. It just wasn't working. I should have asked for more help in my first business upon reflection. I didn't, because we didn't want to look like we didn't know what we were doing, because we had a good product, but something was wrong. Something was wrong. We weren't hitting the market well. We weren't getting adoption we weren't getting customers. It just wasn't working. And so we were too afraid to ask for help. When it's close to you, you're too afraid because you've caught so much rejection in your business, you can't bear more rejection of the idea or the concept. We're so afraid of that extra judgment that then we'd rather not ask for help and struggle in silence.
What I'm about to show you is going to change your life forever. The demonstration that you're about to see was...
And I think that's what leads to you not hitting your goals. That's what leads to you staying stuck. That's what leads to you staying small. That leads to you staying isolated. It leads to you staying isolated and alone because you're not willing to get out there and ask for help. Somebody's got an answer to your question. Whatever you're struggling with right now, somebody has solved it. And maybe you know the person and you can ask them for help, or maybe you don't, but you can ask people for the person who might be able to help. You can ask somebody. It's just the courage to do it. And recognize that if the person says no, it doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean that the idea you've got is terrible. It doesn't mean that you should quit or give up. If anything, it means you need to ask somebody else. Because you don't need to stay stuck. You don't need to stay small. And you definitely don't need to do this all alone. You just have to have the courage to ask for help. Now I've got some special bonus clips that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of actually following through on your goals. That is not good enough, Belief Nation. But when you create a specific plan of action for what you're going to do next and commit to other people, like leaving it in the comments below, that number jumps to 95% chance of you following through. So I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths. Deep, long breaths. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. Feel that power of you keeping your back straight and your eyes closed, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's slightly painful. That's your true power. That's your determination. So use that power here, now, and forever. And see in your mind today how you will do when that music goes on as we work in the gym of life. But you gotta see it in your mind right now if you want to bring it out into the world. See yourself doing the best you can on all the stretches or exercises that we choose and do together here today, right here, right now, wherever we are. Because you were born to do that. You were born to use your determination to see in your mind what you want to create and then make real as you open your eyes and live your life. Good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another day in the gym of life, another chance to be better than we were last time. So here we go, determination, here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot as we usually do. But for now, you can just start walking on the spot as we slowly warm up our bodies and get ready for another session here together, another moment, a few moments here together. When I say go, we'll start jogging on that spot. Ready? And go. Always focused on our breathing and how we can control it, no matter what we're doing, wherever we are in life, wherever we go, not just in the stretches or exercises we're doing. Anytime we're using our bodies and our minds, let's remember how we can always take control of that breathing. It's the same way we can take control of our minds, our thoughts, and therefore our feelings. It's hard work, but just like everything else, with hard work comes all the best things in life. So here we go. We're almost there with the jog, almost there. Feel your body. All the things that are going on right now. Your arms moving, your heart beating, your breathing. That's your presence. That's phenomenal. You are phenomenal. And stop. All right. Walking on the spot. I'm just going to walk side to side here since I have enough space. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, make sure you have enough space as we work together here in the gym of life. The gym of life never ends, even though we may not be exactly where we want to be, at school, at work, wherever it is that we would see and be with all the people that we love and always look forward to being with. But we're here right now together in this moment if you're watching this and you're doing this. So let's go, everybody. Here we go. Let's roll the shoulders first, 10 forward. Here we go. Again, doing the best shoulder rolls we've ever done. All the way to our ears and around. That's 4, 5. Let's do 10 forward. Here we go. And backwards. Again, enjoying the process, enjoying the effort that we're putting in right now to be our best in whatever we're doing. That's what matters. That's what matters. And that can always keep us in our greatest gift, our presence. You're here, you're watching, you're doing, you are living. You have everything you need. Here we go. All right, arm circles forward. Let's do 10 forward again. Again, thinking about our breathing. Deep, long breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And backwards. 10 arm circles backwards. Taking good air in and letting bad air out. Excellent. Okay, hands on the hips, bend the knees and side stretch. 5 on each side. All right, let's do twist now. Keep your feet on the floor and just twist your body. Twist your hips. Again, just feeling the joy of moving your body. All right, okay, and let's do 5 push-ups. Try your best. Here we go. Best 5 push-ups ever. All right, 5 sit-ups, everyone. Here we go. Always doing your best. If you need to use your arms to lift up, for now, that's okay. But just keep going. Don't give up. All right, let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All the way down, all the way up. Arms straight up, looking straight ahead. Excellent. All right. Let's do 6 lunges. 3 on each side. Keeping our back straight, our body straight, looking straight ahead. All right, good. And let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Feeling the joy of being able to become uncomfortable in order to one day be comfortable doing this. All right, and stand up again, everybody. And let's reach for the ceiling on our toes. Here we go. Or if you're outdoors, you're reaching for the sky. Again, feeling the joy of reaching, stretching, using those muscles in our body, all the parts of our body, to reach, to do better. All right, actually touch the ceiling this time. Here we go. Excellent. All right, and reaching now for your toes. Straight knees. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Excellent. All right, good. And let's balance now. Grab one leg and balance. Really think about what you're doing. Find that point, and then pull that leg up towards your bottom. Bend the other knee if you have to. Feel the power of you finding your balance in this moment right now. And switch. It's the same way you can find your balance in whatever you're doing. Keep thinking. Keep trying different things. Again, bend that knee if you have to. And pull your foot up towards your bottom, and you should feel a pull on the front of your leg, front of your thigh. All right, now let's hug our knee. Here we go. Once again, find that balance, work for it. There we go, bend that knee and lift or hug your knee fully. Give it a nice big hug. All right, and switch, the other one now. Slowly come on up. Make sure you have plenty of space around you, just in case you do lose your balance, you fall. You get right back up though. You know the truth, determination. We never give up. We get right back up and we keep going, no matter what. Alrighty, okay, and let's sit down and reach for our toes with straight knees. Here we go. Again, enjoying fully, reaching for our toes. Just like we're reaching always in life, striving to be better than we were yesterday, a minute ago, a second ago. That's pure happiness. That's joy of learning, infinite mind wealth. Okay, and let's go V-shape now. And reach for the floor. Here we go. As far away from your body as you can. Feeling certain muscles being stretched. Your ability to think about that. That's your awareness and that's your determination. The power to control your thoughts, to focus on your being right now. And switch. Reach for one side. Alrighty, and reach for the other side. Again, you're trying to touch your toes. If you don't, that's okay. Just reaching, feeling the joy of going for it. Alright, and let's pull our feet together and gently push our knees down with our elbows. Here we go. Feeling the pull a little bit on the inner thighs, just a little bit, as we gently use our elbows to push our knee towards the ground. Okay, one leg forward, one leg back. Go as far back as you can. Keep that knee on the ground though. And let's hold it there for 10 seconds. And switch to the side. Okay, and again, go as far back as you can, but keep your knee on the ground. A little bit limited with some space here, but we'll do our best. Always do our best. That's what we got. Okay, and let's go into cobra stretch. So, belly's on the ground, push the floor, and look up at the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are. Wherever you are. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Alright, good everyone. Okay, and legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Once again, feeling that power to control our breathing the way we control our mind and our thoughts. So right now, let's see ourselves doing the best we can when that music goes on. For me today, I'm going to play 2 songs. Again, feel free to listen to my songs or have your own playing. But whatever you do, pick 2 exercises or 2 stretches or 2 movements that are safe within the space you have. And for one song, the duration of one song, try to keep going in that one specific exercise activity. For me, I'm going to be doing planks, holding the plank position for as long as I can for the first song, hopefully the whole song. And for the second song, I'm going to see in my mind right now, holding side plank position for each side for the duration of that song. I'm going to see that in my mind right now. Right now, see in your mind what you want to make real when that music goes on. See it with the full power that it's possible. See it with the full power of belief and intention, determination to do your best to make it happen. Here we go. Alright, here we go, determination. It's all about belief. You gotta believe in yourself. Here we go. I believe I can do this. Let's see. What about you? What are you doing? Are you doing planks like me? If you are, let's go. The whole song. Listen to the words of this powerful song. Everything's about believing in yourself. Everything. It all begins there. Do you believe that you can do something? Do you believe that? No matter how long it takes, no matter how hard you gotta work, if you don't believe it, it'll never happen. Belief is the activating force, the key to unlocking the full power of our minds. And then we gotta determine to do it. There we go, everybody. Always believe. I miss and love your determination. I miss and love you all the time. But we are here right now together. We are united. Right now, working on holding a plank position maybe. I don't know what it is you're working on. You're doing a dance or something or an exercise. Keep moving. Keep going. Don't give up. Let's go. The whole song. We're doing this. The whole song. Let's go. That's right. Evan's right. We gotta fix our mindset. Meaning, if we correct our thoughts, turn them into nothing but positivity and belief in ourselves, all the rest of the anxiety, mind health challenges, all those lying thoughts will just go away. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Determination, only you can do it. Only you can believe in you. Actually, others, of course, can believe in you, but the number one thing that will matter is whether you believe in yourself. You don't want to waste everyone else's belief in you. It'll all go away if you don't believe in yourself. We were born to do it. We were born to believe in ourselves. First and foremost, to love ourselves no matter what. To know the truth of what others feel about us if they believe in us too. Almost there, almost there. Song's almost over. Let's go. Determination, let's go. Awesome work, determination. All right, next song. All right, side planks for me. Here I go. Holding one side for half the song and maybe holding the other side for the other half. Listening to, again, powerful music, energy, words. Bob was right. One love. Bob Marley knew the truth, just like you know the truth. We all know the truth. We're made of it. Of course. If we just take our minds when they're negative and they're anxious and stressed and fearing, if we took our minds, our thoughts, and just moved them out of the way, all there is love. We are made of pure love, pure infinite intelligence. We get to work on our bodies, our minds all the time to be the true beings that we were born to be. Even if we feel like quitting, it's hard. It's hard to control our minds, to get it out of the way. But we can do what we were born to do. Alright, let's go to the other side now. Here we go. Oh, I love it. Feeling the sweat. All that old fluid leaving the body. Make room for some new, good fluid. Here we go. Just like our new thoughts. We get rid of the old thoughts that don't serve us to make room for new, good thoughts, positive thoughts that serve us to be who we were all born to be. Love. That's it. Simple. No hate. No anger. Those things are going to be there. We're going to feel it sometimes, but With our determination, we can determine love, not hate. Determination, not giving up. Happiness, not depression. Joy, not sadness. How's everyone doing? Hanging in there, keep going. We're almost done. Let's always be united together, just like we are right now, right here. Alright. I'm proud of my effort. How about you? How about you? How about you, determination? I'm proud of you. I love you. And here we are again, ending the way we begun today together. Knowing the truth, though, that nothing ever ends, nothing is ever over. Determination is never over, never done. Because we are an energy. We are one energy. The way we take control of our breathing in this moment, the way we did our best today on all the exercises and stretches we did, that's the same way, same process we can use to make the best decisions. No, not decisions, determinations. Positive choices, loving choices, peaceful, grateful, mind healthy, mind wealthy choices, determinations. We don't choose and lose, we determine and win. Just like we won again today, here, right now. Just like we're winning right here, right now, just by being our presence, who we are. By believing and truly knowing the absolute truth that can never be taken away from you by words, by actions of others, or any things, any negativity, any sort of losses, pain, suffering, lies that is taking place. Those are lies. That's not the truth of what we were all born to do and be. That's just the mind that has taken over. The collective mind, our individual minds, but we have the power. We have our determination. We have the power to separate our minds from who we really are. Love, that infinite energy that is responsible for all that you are, see, the universe. What else could create something so magnificent other than love? The power of love. The love that's in you, in all of us. So let's just get our thoughts, our negativity, our anxieties, our stresses, when things don't go our way or as they should, get those thoughts out of the way. And feel the truth when all that has gone away. It's love. It's infinite intelligence. It's you. I love your determination. Another great time together. Take this with you. Take this energy, the way you feel right now. Hopefully you feel better than you did when we started. And you won your morning. You won your mind. You won your life in this moment. And you can win it all the time, wherever you go today, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, no matter what's going on outside your mind, out in the world. This is the starting place, aligned with this, that can change everything. I love your determination. Have a great day, a great week, and always a great life. I'll see you next time.
Oh, my friend, we are like blood brothers. Look at this.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and like Tom Bilyeu says,
at the end of the day, if you're not taking action, nothing matters.
and that's why I create these videos to help you take the knowledge you're learning and turn it into action.
Thank you for inviting me into your home.
Dude,
man.
thanks for coming, man.
I love it. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation. You do not need to think that you are anything special. It is absolutely okay for you to be hopelessly average. Why? To me, the most powerful thing that you could believe about yourself is that you're the average human. Now, why? I actually think it is less powerful for you to think that you are above average, because to think that you are above average means that you are valuing yourself for being better than people. It's a super vulnerable position to be in, because you will inevitably meet people who are better than you. And what do you do with your ego then? Then it's really crushing. You thought you were the man, and now you encounter somebody that's better than you. They slap you around, they outperform you, they dunk on you, whatever. And now, whoa, like you've got to rebuild and claw your way back. Versus saying the following: the average human is the ultimate adaptation machine. As a species, humans have chosen to respond to cultural and environmental cues. So we do not come pre-programmed like a horse that comes out of the womb. 10 minutes later, it's ready to rock and roll. It's running around doing all the things that a horse can do. A human, on the other hand, has this huge period of development after birth where we cannot take care of ourselves. We can't walk, can't hold our own head up. We shit in our pants. It's crazy. But what that does is it allows us to drink in the environment that we're born into and adapt. So the average human is the ultimate adaptation machine. Therefore, being the average human means you're a learner. That's it. You're not exceptional. So you're not putting any of your psychology, your self-worth, your pride into being better than somebody else. It all comes down to valuing yourself for being the learner. So, hey, cool, you wasted a bunch of time at school. No reason to hide from that. It was a waste. We're not going to repeat the mistake, but we learn. So you've got the self-awareness to see that it was a mistake. Now it's just like, what do you want to do? What do you want to get great at? Because if you apply yourself, even if you're not good yet, you can get good. How do I know that? Because you're the average human. And the average human is the ultimate adaptation machine. This is all about disciplined, focused energy into acquiring a skill set. It's what I call the only belief that matters. When you believe that time and energy directed at something through deliberate practice will actually make you better at that thing, now all of a sudden it's like, I can get good at anything if I apply myself. And now all of a sudden your behaviors align with your belief. That's why that belief matters so much. Because if you don't think you can get better at something, then why would you apply any time and energy to it? And if you don't apply time and energy to it, then you really won't get any better. So it becomes this loop of, well, I believe I can get better, therefore I try, therefore I actually get better, therefore I try harder, and you get in this virtuous cycle. This is hugely important. That is one of those things that will govern the rest of your life. You value yourself for learning, getting better at something, and applying yourself. Everything else will take care of itself because you just keep applying yourself. Don't make excuses. Don't BS yourself. If you wasted time, you wasted time. Don't spend your time beating yourself up over it, because we only do and believe that which moves us towards our goals.
Rule number 2, have rules.
Rules are, I think, underutilized in people's lives. And this is something that I use on a daily basis. And the rules that I have laid out in my life allow me to stay on track. So for instance, you have a problem in the morning of facing an inadequacy. Okay, so you know something about yourself, that you You like the out of thinking that you don't have time so that you don't have to face, I set a goal, I gave that goal a deadline, and I missed that deadline. And that means, punchline of punchlines, that I'm not good enough, which is true if you add the modifier yet. I'm not good enough yet. Now, the thing that's going to let you off the hook and allow us to slot in some rules, because you're not fighting against yourself, you're now working for yourself to achieve the things you want to achieve, is to understand you actually can get good. So it's what I call the only belief that matters. The only belief that matters is that if you put time and attention into getting better at something, you'll actually get better at it. Not because you're special, not because you're brighter than the next person, because that is the physics of the human mind. That's just how the mind works. The truth of being a human is that if you apply energy into practicing something, and that practice is well done, you will, as an inevitable consequence of that time and energy, have a deeper skill set. That skill set has utility. It lets you do something in the world that other people cannot do. Okay, so if we know that's true, now we don't need to seek a distraction, because when we realize, oh, we're not good enough yet, all that does, another layer of self-awareness, it lets us know the thing that we need to get better at. And now if I apply my time and energy to that thing, I will actually improve. So, okay, cool. Now I need rules to make sure that I clear that space for me to actually get good at that thing. Now, the only catch there is it needs to be something that you're actually excited to get good at, right? Like imagine that world where you're truly world-class at that thing, right? And the only thing that stands between you and being world-class at anything you care about, maybe not the best in the world, but world-class, is time. And so if you like that thing, you're excited by that thing, then you put these rules. And so a simple rule may be, I don't check my phone under any circumstance for any reason before 10 a.m. I don't know what your rule is going to be. It depends on what time you wake up. But for me, I don't take meetings before 10 a.m. The way I say it to myself is I don't let anyone control my time before 10 a.m. I don't take meetings from anybody on the team at Impact Theory. I don't even take meetings with Lisa unless there's something really like high time pressure that needs to be dealt with.
Rule number 3, make a list.
How do I focus on accomplishing one thing at a time when I have so much to do in one day? What's the best way to give your attention to what matters while still accomplishing the other things that need to get done? Example, I have lots of schoolwork to do every day, but also want to spend time learning the things I need to achieve my goals. All right, so this is all about getting really efficient with your time. So you're going to want to make a list. I titled mine important things and title yours whatever you think is best. And on that list, it's all action items. So it isn't just pontification. It's going to be, here are the things that I need to do and in order. So make sure that they're in order of what Tim Ferriss calls the lead domino. So you want to knock over that, the thing that then will cause other things to fall over first. Excuse me. So find that lead domino, make sure that you're doing that first, do the hard things, do the important things, do them in order, and make sure that you're blocking out your time. Make sure you also carve out time to think. So you need both, but at the end of the day, if you're not taking action, nothing matters. So I would keep that list and I would live in that list and I would just constantly be going through that list to make sure that I'm moving the most important things forward first. And then make sure that you're being deadly efficient with your time. So if you audit your time, I think you'd be as horrified as if you audit what you actually eat. And most people don't realize how many weird little calories they slip in here and there, especially if you have kids and you're eating a French fry or two off their plate, you're having some of their macaroni. It's like time is exactly the same. Like how much time did you spend at the water cooler just chatting? How much time did you spend on Reddit? Like all these things end up sucking away a lot of your time and people don't realize how much of their time they lose to that. So getting deadly efficient with your time, I think you'll find that you have plenty of time to do things sequentially. You can't do everything you want at the same time, but you can certainly do them sequentially if you're really efficient with your time.
Rule number 4, shift negative energy.
I like Jordan Peterson's idea of tell the truth or at least try not to lie. Sometimes there can be a truth that we leave unsaid because this is a momentary interaction where I would say kindness is the higher value than pointing out every flaw that we see or every bit of obnoxious behavior, because at some point it just spirals into madness to point out every misstep that somebody is doing. And so when I look at somebody that is being obnoxious, being rude, My goal is to shift their energy. How can I get them back into a place where they're feeling good? They're feeling warmth. They are in a place where they feel kind, right? Because most people, it isn't that they are incapable of kindness. And if they are, like, imagine how shitty that life would be. Somebody who never experiences kindness, joy, warmth, connection, that would truly be its own hell. So I'm not going to worry about pointing out every obnoxious thing that they're doing. And I would play a game with myself of how much joy can I spread? And in some ways, you are leaving a truth unsaid, which is that they're being unkind or obnoxious or whatever. But by trying to spread kindness, you're not lying. And especially if you share that value with me of wanting to just put as much good vibes into the world as you can. And look, I'm not perfect. And there is no doubt that sometimes people are just like, God damn, like, I just don't want anything to do with it. But that doesn't feel like me at my best. Me at my best feels like, all right, cool. Can we switch this energy around? Can we get them to soften, to feel that human warmth and a bit of connection? And can I mean, with a smile, you will be shocked how much you can change somebody's demeanor. So that's how I would flip it. I would just see how much joy can I spread even when people are being problematic to me. Now, that doesn't mean that I let people abuse me or anything like that. I don't. I imagine you guys can get a pretty good guess about what I'm like. I don't let people walk over me or be a dick to me or whatever, but I find it far more interesting to try to change somebody's energy than to get them to go, yeah, I am being a dick. That's just not interesting to me, trying to get them to sort of confess that they're the problem. I'd much rather hold myself accountable to, like, how much sort of emotional jujitsu can I do here?
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Rule number 5, orchestrate your life.
I think it is very instructive for people to ask the question, who's living my ideal life? And that doesn't mean who's making the most money. It means, what person's life do you want to live? The real day-to-day grind of it. And when you identify what your dream job is, now we need to go about figuring out how we get that job. And so very quickly, a question about managing our ADHD and figuring out how to stay focused actually becomes a question of, how do we get good at finding the right job? And so if you think about orchestrating your life, and most people live by the law of accident. I want to repeat that. Most people live by the law of accident. Don't let that be you, right? You bump into somebody, they know there's a job offering, or it's closer to where you live, or it's, easier for you with the kids, whatever. And so you bump into these things. It's like, oh yeah, cool. Oh, I'll make that little thing. And instead of designing your life, you end up just responding to sort of little bumps along the road that end up leading you down a path that was never a conscious choice. You want to sit down and map out, okay, we know that we need a job that meets certain criteria. And one piece of that criteria is that it allows you to be very physical and get that energy out. Okay, so take control of your lives. I cannot stress that one enough. Journaling is hugely important. Recognizing where you thrive, where you don't thrive, what are deal breakers. So it sounds like 8 hours behind a desk is a deal breaker for you. So map out those things, take very strict control of your life, and remember, this may be one of the things that has led me to have a career, a life that has certainly led to a tremendous amount of joy in my life and looks like from the outside impossible to obtain. I am an unreasonable person, and I set aside all of my lacking elements, all of my, that's a weird way to say inadequacies. I set aside all the things that I'm not good at because I know it's all a process. I can get good at anything that I point myself at, right? The only belief that matters, if I put time and attention to getting good at this thing, I actually will get good at this thing. So I just set all of that aside. Okay, cool, yeah, whatever. I'm not yet good enough to have the life that I want, my ideal life, but I'm gonna get good enough. And from that, I plant a very unreasonable belief inside my soul, which is I can have any life I want. And now I just need to write out exactly what that is. I've handcrafted the life that I desire. And I know the realities of who I am and what needs to be true in order for me to move well through the world, right? As somebody who was diagnosed with ADHD as a kid, I fully get it. And so I have tailored my life to that. Momentum is everything to me because I've got to always be moving. I've got to always feel like I can have tomorrow be wildly different than today. But I take responsibility for the fact that I have to build that. And it's not going to happen by accident. The life I would be leading if I led my life by accident would be radically different. It would not be tailored to the things that I want. So don't be afraid to want. Don't be afraid to spend an inordinate amount of time thinking about what you really want. And then don't be afraid to be unreasonable in accepting nothing less.
Rule number 6, don't give up on your belief.
If you had a choice, would you rather pay $12 for this cheese grater on Amazon or pay less than $2?
I get it. I get that humans do dumb things. I get that humans can be hurtful. I'm not interested, though, in what my partner did wrong. I'm only interested in what I can do next time to avoid the same mistakes without diminishing the beauty that is a relationship. Now, I have a fundamental belief that the single greatest joy that anybody can have in their life is to share a life with somebody that they love and who loves them, that they trust and who trusts them. So I'm not going to give up on that belief because it went wrong 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, whatever. I'm looking at what I can control to make sure that I don't end up back in that situation.
Rule number 7, scale.
What I really, really enjoy, in fact, I ask this of everybody, not everybody, I've asked this many, many, many times of people coming into the company. There are 2 choices before you. Choice number 1, you help, let's say 5 people, and they all know who you are. They would credit you with transforming their life. At your funeral, they would say, this man is the woman, is the reason that I have been successful. Plain and simple, I owe everything to them. They're crying, and it's like, you touch their lives, you touch their families' lives. Or would you rather affect 5 million people and none of them know who you are? Now, for me, it's not even a tough choice. I would rather affect the 5 million people and they have absolutely no idea who I am. At scale is all I care about. That's it. I am obsessed with doing things at scale. I've actually never taken the time to reflect on why I like that so much, but scale is what matters to me. Really helping a lot of people. That is the thing that I'm really driven by.
Rule number 8, embrace pain.
I'm convinced that while virtually everyone you're ever going to meet, they will tell you that they want to do something great with their life. They'll tell you that they've got big dreams, they've got plans, and they're going to make it happen. But they can't take criticism. They're not willing to look at what they're doing wrong. They're not willing to admit that everything is their fault, but it's just a frame of reference. And if they would change that frame of reference, it would change everything. And as Tim Grover said, the only difference between feedback and criticism is how you hear it. Understanding the brain, understanding how we process data, understanding the way that ideas get into your mind and cause a chain reaction of emotions. If you can't figure that out and rise above it and not become a victim of your emotions, not become a victim to people saying something that knock you off your confidence, that make you feel insecure, that actually cripple your ability to perform because of how you have decided to hear something. And that moment of awakening, that breakthrough, that is the realization that you decide what to focus on. You decide what to hear and what to take away from something. Somebody can assail you, they can attack you, they can victimize you. But it's a choice as to whether or not you play the victim As Winston Churchill said, criticism may not be agreeable, but it's necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. In the pursuit of greatness, people are still trying to avoid pain. If you really want to do something, if you really want to become somebody, then you've got to run headlong into pain. You've got to be looking for those things that make you suffer. You've got to seek out the pain. You've got to seek out the things that make you uncomfortable. You've got to want to hit that difficulty, because it is in those moments, it is in that bit of suffering, it is in seeing what you are not good at that is going to allow you to become great. And if you have to let it fill you with rage, to really stand in anguish in order to force yourself to move, then stand in it. Do whatever you need to do in order to reach your goals. And if that's the motivation that you need, then embrace it and chase it.
The way we work has changed. Our teams are now, well, everywhere.
As Tony Robbins said, the purpose of pain is to move us into action. It's not to make us suffer. So in that anguish, in the excruciating pain, find no suffering. See the joy in it. Welcome it like an old friend. And the day that you can welcome your pain like an old friend, because you know, like a friend, it is taking you where you need to go. It is spurring you into action. It is pushing you to become something. And the process of rebirth, my friends, hurts. But whether you choose to suffer or not is your choice. Because remember Tim's words. The only difference between feedback and criticism is how you hear it. The only difference between pain and suffering is how you frame it. So it's your choice. It's up to you how you're going to move forward. But never for 1 second forget that it's a choice.
Rule number 9, congratulate yourself.
How do you deal with pain? Do you reward yourself each day? Do you seek instant gratification, or do you wait until you receive the pleasure you actually want, like achieving your long-term goals? So it really depends on what the pain is. If it's an acute pain, I force myself to lean into it. So like when I'm at the dentist and it really hurts, then I'll actually open my mouth wider to make sure that they get like absolutely no subtle signal for me that I'm in pain, because I want them to do whatever the hell they need to do, no matter how much it hurts. And then I'm rewarding myself in a self-congratulatory way for not being a wuss and for dealing with the pain when it's in service of something that I actually want to do and achieve. When it's a longer term, like slower pain, like just being ultra disciplined, not eating the things that I want to eat, oftentimes I'll focus on the results to keep myself really excited about what I'm doing. So with diet, living forever, optimizing my cognition, looking good naked, I'll stop and think about those things and think about having a discipline that other people don't have. And that gets me excited. I'll also reframe it. So if I'm really dieting hard and I know that I'm going to be hungry for hours and hours and hours on end, days and weeks stacking up, I will welcome the hunger like an old friend. And I will literally say in my head, welcome hunger, my old friend. I'm so glad that you're here, because it means that I'm metabolizing fat. So I do things like that to really get my head in the right place, so that I'm looking at something as positive. I'm looking at what it's bringing me. I'm focused on my goals. I know what I want. I'm focused on the identity of being the kind of person that's willing to do that. And again, it's self-congratulatory, because you're really stoked that you've got the discipline and the ability to do that stuff. So learning how to be self-congratulatory in a way that isn't gross, that doesn't make you an egomaniac, all of that stuff, I think is really, really important. And people need to learn to do that, to have compassion, to have love for yourself, to really be stoked on who you're becoming. I think is a really, really important thing.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is take action.
There's a phrase that I think about often, and that is action cures all. If you have a problem, I promise you, thinking about it isn't the solution. Taking action is. Hey, like you, I would go watch a bazillion YouTube videos, but I wouldn't watch a bazillion YouTube videos on how to do something before I tried it. I might watch a couple videos, but I mean literally a couple videos, and then I would immediately get involved in that thing. And you will find that in doing it, in trying to pull it off, you learn infinitely more. You now have context for what you're learning. You now will maybe steer your education in a different direction. I just cannot stress enough. You've got to take action. You've got to take action. And in that, all that din, that noise, you're going to begin to realize, like, wait a second, these people don't even know what they're talking about because I'm actually out there doing it. These people do know what they're talking about, so I'm going to be listening more to them. But action cures all. Like, that has to be the mantra that everybody lives by. I cannot tell you that the thing that has propelled me forward is I am so unafraid of embarrassing myself. I know that when I get started on something, I'm going to look stupid. And my willingness to look stupid and not try to pose or look cool, to go out there, get kicked in the face, embarrass myself, recollect myself, and move forward. That's how I keep winning. And irony of ironies is, if you recognize that you should never judge yourself through the lens of a moment, you should only judge yourself through the lens of a lifetime, or more practically, 3-year movements, 10-year movements. When you start thinking like that, then it's like, I laugh because all the people making fun of me on a long enough timeline, I will beat them all. And I really believe that, going back to me being a very unreasonable person. I know that I will win. On a long enough timeline, I can beat anyone at anything because I have the only belief that matters, that if I put time and energy into getting better at something, I will actually get better. Now, most people can't do it. Most people cannot get their ego out of the way. Most people can't eliminate the distractions. Most people succumb to the paralysis of indecision. They're so afraid to be embarrassed that they let that noise, right? The very well-defined sense of distraction from other people's voices stop them from growing, from learning, from trying, from taking action. Now, if you take action and recognize, I'll get better, these guys can make fun of me, they're never going to stick with it, they won't be able to deal with the emotion of getting embarrassed, of failing at something, of recognizing that you truly aren't good enough yet. Now, most people don't have the word yet. That you do. You will use that as a weapon. And I know people hate it when I use war language, but I love it. You will use it as a weapon that you will wield in your quest for success. You can't make a racehorse out of a pig, but you can make a really fast pig. Your life can be the answer to what does a fast pig look like. That is certainly what my life is. All the success that I've had in my life is not because I was gifted at any one thing. When I left for college, my mother quietly assumed I was going to fail. My best friend assumed I was going to marshmallow my way through